Rockingham, North Carolina. Hey, I got a new nickname. They gave it to me this afternoon during the And the Winners Motorsports Show. Guess what, Cowboy? It's now the Cardiac Cowboy, thanks to Mike Neff. We'll get to that here in just a little bit. But, hey, back in the saddle again. Of course, my horse still hanging out down there in the crowd looking up at me saying, hey, boy, what the hell are you doing up there anyway? I thought we were retired. But let's talk about the Rock here tonight, guys. A 1 mile track. I'm going to let Wesley explain that here in just a little bit. But sharing the booth with me tonight, of course, and the Winners Motorsports Show, the Speaker of the House, Wesley Outland, Dakota Ehrman. He'll be calling the action down on pit road. And, of course, John Westling. We like to call him Magic Fingers back at the office. He's working the cameras for you here tonight. And let's talk about Rockingham here, guys. 1 mile track. Dakota, let's start with you. You have a little bit of experience on it today. What are we looking towards here tonight?
Well, this being the first official season for the track on the iRacing service, it is rather new. The iRacing service, I believe, is located in North Carolina, as Wesley Outland told us before the race. It's really bumpy surface, really old surface, and I mean, a lot of guys when they got here, they're saying, why don't they repaint this deal? But it's got a lot of character, and it's going to be a bumpy ride, a crazy ride. We have a feeling that there could be a few wrecks. It's very line dependent, as you'll see later tonight. I have a feeling that it's going to be one of the most interesting from the standpoint of pit road and the crew chiefs. And Wesley Outland, what's it going to be like for the drivers? Do you know?
No doubt about it. By the way, Happy New Year to everybody from ETV Live, Online Auto Sports Entertainment Network. Certainly hope everybody had a great Christmas and New Year, spending it with your family and loved ones, and now it's back to the saddle again. You saw a little sample of it with me and Dakota Ehrman last Monday night on New Year's Eve for what's in store for 2013. Now it's time for that was the appetizer. This is the main course. And fellas, I'm telling you what a better racetrack to have the debut of 2013 for ETV and the RSR than at Rockingham Speedway. Some of the most exciting races in NASCAR history have taken place at the Rock, and I'm telling you, there's going to be some exciting racing here tonight. You've got the last race back in December, verbatim. Remember, we took off for a 3-week hiatus for the holidays. Chad Cole won the last event. John Abbott was second. Dwayne Vincent was third, Terry Lane was fourth, Rick Fouts was in the top 5. But I'm telling you what, carrying this momentum as we get closer and closer to these races. Excuse me, I look at the points wrong. You got the position points man. Dwayne Vincent won the last race. Excuse me, guys, I jumped the gun there. Dakota saved me. But definitely, Dwayne Vincent, if you want to talk about a driver that's carrying momentum after winning the last race of the year for RSR, could he be the hot shoe, the guy to watch? I believe he is, Dakota.
Dwayne Vincent, for sure. He's got a lot of momentum coming in. I have a feeling that he's going to be one to watch for the race. And as I look down the qualifying board, I don't much see him on the top of the board. But when we look to practice, you know, he wasn't really there either. So I'm kind of wondering if Dwayne Vincent was even able to get here. I know that we'll get more confirmation about that later, but the guy who is the points leader, as you mentioned, Chad Cole, he has a lot of momentum coming in. I mean, he's done very well the past few weeks, and I'll tell you what, he's pretty high up in the qualifying charts as of right now.
No doubt about it. Go ahead, JD.
Well, I was just going to say real quickly, let's take them all the way down through the points here. We'll give you the top 10. As guys are talking about here, Chad Cole, he sits at the top. He's in that number 1 seat. He finished 7th last week, just outside the top 5 at Homestead. John Abbott, he sits in the 2nd seat. He's sharing a little bit of uptime there. He's in 2nd. He finished 4th last week, 18 points behind Chad Cole. And in 3rd position, Dwayne Vincent here in Dakota, and Wesley talking about Dwayne. He won that race last week at Homestead Miami Speedway, and what a race that was. I was lucky enough to have a box seat at the track, enjoyed every minute of it. Sitting in 4th position, Terry Lane. He is looking pretty sweet, 37 points behind the lead. He's only 1 point in back of Dwayne Vincent for 4th place. He finished 8th and inside the top 10 at Homestead. Rick Fouts, who did a fantastic job last week, led most of the laps at Homestead Miami. Rick sits in that middle seat in 5th position and finished 2nd last week at Homestead Miami to Dwayne Vincent, 42 behind the leader, Mike King. He is sitting in that 6th position. He is 44 points behind the lead, just 2 points off of Rick Fouts. Joey Gattina, who is not racing. I believe Scott Brotherton is subbing for Joey Gattina tonight. Joey Gattina is sitting in 7th place. He's 49 points behind the lead. Adam Roberts, John Hanna Jr., and Bobby Wetzel make up your bottom 3 here, rounding out the top 10. But right now, let's go ahead and take it down trackside to National Anthem presented by the Cactus Cuties.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And we are back. I'll tell you guys, still sending the chills up my spine, the Cactus Cuties. I've never heard another rendition better than that, presenting our national anthem. But I'll tell you what, let's take it on down to the grid. They're starting to line up down there. Chad Cole on the pole here at Rockingham tonight, your first row. He's in that number 7 machine. On the outside of him will be Bobby Terrell in that number 10 car.
Row number 3 on the inside, the number 45, the Skuntworks Chevrolet of Kel Dresbach, and his outside, the Timmy Hill Motorsports, number 31. That's going to be the Chevrolet of Brian Macklin. He'll start 4th.
Angelo Cordino, he'll start in the 5th position in that number 49 machine. Dwayne Vincent in the number 6 machine. He'll be starting 6th tonight. One word about Cale Dresbach up there, guys. Keep an eye on him. He was laying down some pretty good lap times during practice.
And we now move to row number 4. Inside, the number 19, the Logitech Computers Chevrolet Impala. That's going to be Bobby Wetzel. To his outside, the number 97 car, Kodiak colors in the Epcot University of Pikeville on the side of that Chevrolet. That's going to be Nathan Little.
And Mike Montesi, he'll be on the inside, starting in 9th in that number 20 machine. On the outside of him, the 22 car belonging to John Milwane, starting 10th.
Row number 6, colors similar to the old UPS colors of the great driver Dale Jarrett, except it's got Jack Daniels Tennessee Honey's whiskey all over the front end. That's the 88 Chevrolet Impala of Adam Roberts. And his outside, remembering the colors of the great NASCAR driver Tim Richmond, and even Mark Martin in the Folgers colors. That's the 82 Folgers in your Cup Chevrolet or Toyota Camry of Terry Lane.
The number 67 on the inside in the 13th position belongs to Brian Harvey. On the outside of him, Jonathan Cadell. He'll be starting 14th in the number 26.
And we go to row number 13 on the inside, starting in the 15th position, the number 70 Race Center Chevrolet, Michael Gray. To his outside, the Red Bull color number 12 Chevrolet, Fearless Entry of Douglas Wyatt.
Doug Roth, he'll be starting on the inside in the 43 machine, 17th position. In 18th on the outside, the 85 of Nathan Bowers.
Row number 10, it's going to be the number 14 of Scott Brotherton, the Carolina Racetech Chevrolet 14. and the 71 machine of Keith Brooks Jr.
J. Randall Watkins on the inside in number 3, 21st position. 22nd belongs to Greg Netherwood in that 44 car. Chris Schallenberger, Matt Lacrosse, Jose Gonzalez, Jimmy North, Wyatt Wolf Jr., Rich Jett, David Lanza, Eric Arnold, Wyatt Wolf Jr., and Stephen Herring. They'll round out to the rest of the field here tonight, opting out of qualifying as the green flag comes out, and we are racing at the Rock.
Green flag at Rockingham Speedway, and in the early going, Chad Cole in the Hippies Paint Shop Valvoline colors jumps out in front. Second spot's Bobby Terrell. Then you got Kel Dressback sitting in third. He's got a trunk full of that machine of Brian Macklin to his outside. They'll come to the line and put lap 1 on the board. Cole leads them back to 1, JD.
You bet. 150 laps on the board here tonight, guys, at Rockingham. 1 mile track. I'll tell you what, Dakota was talking about this place being real bumpy. It is that. As back here in 6th position, Nathan Little up on the high side, and he's going to give it up to Bobby Wetzel, comes around off of turn 4, heading down the front straight.
Bill comes back to the line, and a little scare there just a moment ago with John Milwane in the Mopar 22 Dodge. Gave him a little scare on the number 20 Pabst Blue entry of Mike Montesi. Now he's going to run the 49 car for 8th of Angelo Corandino up the racetrack. That's going to open up the door for Montesi. They'll go door to door at the stripe, and here comes Milwane. He'll try to stick it 3 wide. Nope, he'll back off. They'll go back to turn 1. That's inside the top 10.
And, I didn't spend any time down in the garage today, guys. I'm hoping Dakota might be able to get a hold of some of the crew chiefs down there and find out what's going on. Tires and fuel here tonight. We know Rockingham's been a tough track on tires. That's been a given pretty much since it was born. But, Dakota, what are we looking at as far as fuel mileage here at the Rock?
I'm going to quote Chad Cole in this is exactly what he says. About 90 laps or so, give 20 or take 20. They're not quite sure. They do around 20, and that's really what they're hoping for. But they're not expecting a whole lot of green flag runs here. In the tires, like you said, they get eaten up really bad. You've got to kind of throw the car in low, let it drift up to about the middle lane or about a lane up off the bottom, and then try to power off the corner low again to get the best lap you can. And that does eat up the tires pretty quick. So, like you said, even after 5 laps, you're going to come in and get 4 tires of fuel.
6 laps in booked here already, and I'll tell you what, we got a pile up back here on the backstretch. Looks like it's going to be the number 20 machine, Mike Montesi involved. Oh, it takes a late hit. So first caution
cars
coming out.
Yeah, more cars involved there, JD. The 19 Chevrolet Logitech colors of Bobby Wetzel. He got caught up in the deal. He's dirt tracking it now to the bottom of the racetrack. He's definitely broke suspension on as he plows the outside, the inside retaining wall, trying to get that car moving. Bobby Wetzel definitely with a problem.
You bet. It all started with that number 19 machine, Bobby Wetzel, as he just gets plumb out of shape. But like you're saying, right up at turn 4 here, or turn 2 rather, coming on the backstretch. And then right beside him is, I lost my place here. Let me see. Nathan Little comes by, clips him, and of course that starts the melee. That's going to kind of flip Bobby Wetzel around here a little bit. But the first caution coming out here at Rockingham, guys, early in the race, 6 laps into books here, Dakota. Imagine everybody will be coming down pit road.
Yeah, as I'm watching here, a lot of the guys actually staying out. Not sure why, though. We were hearing a lot about coming down in 4 tires of fuel, but a few guys in the back opting to come down. I think it's maybe they're thinking it's a little bit too early to come down, but usually we see guys come down for 4 tires and fuel. And I know that next caution that we have, we definitely will see guys, as they're already talking to the crew chiefs, kind of regretting the decision. I already hear on the radio. But one of the first guys to come down, Nathan Little, giving up the 7th position, 4 tires and fuel for that car. He was not too happy with it. I believe that they were making quite a few changes on the machine.
And coming from North Carolina, Wesley Outland, I know you've probably visited this track many times. Is it as bumpy as these guys are talking about here today?
Yeah, no doubt about it, JD Webb. For many a year, I've had the privilege to announce the Polar Bear 150 on New Year's Day, which we talked about on And the Winner Is tonight. What a great show that turned out for the debut of our program for 2013. And yes, Rockingham Speedway, the bumps, like you talk about Charlotte, the Humpty bumps, Same thing here at Rockingham. The bumps and even into the broadcast tonight. You can notice the way they bottom out into the corner, the way they, kind of get a little sideways. You can see some of the cracks into the racing surface. Yes, this track is bumpy, and it will show in this broadcast tonight.
And I'll tell you what, I'm a little puzzled too. I got to go along with Dakota here tonight, guys. The condition of this track. I'm going to come down pit road every chance I get. 4 new shoes at least, if not fuel. But with only plus 20, minus 20, who knows? Maybe even top it off and see what we can get out of it. But still a little bit puzzling, as these guys, quite a few of them opt to not take that advantage and come down pit road. But we'll see how that plays out when we take the green flag. Let's go back to Wesley Outland here for just a minute. The inaugural broadcast of "And the Winner Is" occurred tonight, and you had a pretty unique guest on tonight, Wesley, from the Speed Channel. Tell us about that.
Yeah, for the past couple of years now, I've had the privilege to build a relationship with Ralph Shaheen, and Ralph Shaheen used to be one of my idols, so to speak, in race broadcasting when I used to be a kid watching him on CBS, and we hooked up on Facebook one day and got to chatting, going over messages, and then we became friends on Twitter, and finally ran into each other at a couple of racetracks. He likes dirt track racing and asphalt, and so do I, and all of a sudden we just had the opportunity to run into each other at Indianapolis at the IMA show, and it worked out to get him lined up for 2013. And I said, man, what a great idea to have you on board for the first show of the year. Supercross starting up, and he does the announcing for Speed Channel on that, and NASCAR and TNT, and just a bunch of hosts of other great things. A great talent, and man, we had a great interview tonight. He really said he enjoyed being brought into the whole street stock subject as he got through into that whenever he called in at 7:30. But that's just a sample, J.D. Webb, of what "And the Winner Is" Motorsports Show offers. Mike Neff, myself, along with Marcus Morgan when he comes on the show at times, and man, just a great show tonight. The green flag goes back into the air. Tune in, "And the Winner Is" Motorsports Show, and if you missed it, remember it's going to be on replay for ETV Live Radio, powered by HD Radio Network, Friday night at 1 o'clock.
And Chad Cole gets a pretty good jump over Bobby Terrell out here. Cale Dresbeck, who was laying down some pretty fast lap times during practice session, stayed on top of the leaderboard pretty much the entire practice session prior to the race here tonight. Cale sitting in 4th position back here. He's hunting down Terrell and Cole out in front. But Dwayne Vincent picking up the trophy last time out before the Christmas break. I believe that was the 17th of December. We were in Homestead, Miami. Nice warm day for racing back then. As I believe we got another caution, Dakota.
Yeah, I'm not definitely not quite sure what happened there. As I see Wyatt Wolf's turned around to looks like off the 4.
Chasing it
Yeah,
down
guys.
here.
Wyatt Wolf spun her. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Wyatt Wolf slooped his car around up there in turn number 2. It just seemed like a single solo accident. Simply lost it on his own. Had nowhere to go, and nobody else got collected. Just a single spin. Wyatt Wolf puts us under yellow flag for the second time.
All right, and second caution coming out here for the night, and I'll tell you what, they usually say that cautions breed cautions, but we'll figure that out and see what happens. We've only got 11 laps in the books here tonight, guys, 150 on the board, so there's plenty of racing left here tonight. I want to go back and touch on the show tonight, "And the Winner's Motorsports." Subject that they were talking about tonight, Wesley, taking a late model series and going national with it. And I'll tell you, with the way NASCAR,
not late model, street stock.
Street stock. Well, okay, street stock. I mean that's to me it doesn't make a difference. Something other than NASCAR, but it's that kind of grassroots, down home, countrified racing, and you know how I feel about that. You and Mike Neff both. But interesting stuff coming out of the guests tonight, especially Sheehan. Talking about the possibility of a street stock series going national, and maybe that's what we need. Okay.
What happened? I'm sorry, JD, I lost you. What'd you say, buddy?
That's okay. That's all right. We're talking about the guest on the Anna Winter is tonight, and the possibility, or at least raising the question of the possibility of taking something like a street stock series national. And I tell you, you and Mike Neff know how I feel about some of the latest NASCAR races. I've pretty much given up. And I would much rather like to see some of this late model street stock dirt car type stuff on national television, which we don't see very often, and there's very little of it, on national TV. I mean, when do you ever turn into NBC Sports and see a dirt track race?
Absolutely. Yeah, you're exactly right. And, it's amazing that you said this, guys, because as soon as me and Mike and Marcus got off of And the Winner Is Tonight with Ralph Shaheen, Ralph put out a tweet on his Twitter account, and he said, I really enjoyed being on And the Winner Is because Wesley and the guests tell it like it is, or they're not afraid to ask the questions that the other networks are afraid to. Let's face it, you got your PRN, you got your MRN, you got your politics. They don't want to say nothing, JD, because they don't want to piss off NASCAR. They don't want to get fined. They don't want to get penalized, or they don't want to end up losing a career. I don't want to lose a career either, and neither does Mike or Marcus, but sometimes we, like you said, JD, you like the fact that we ask the questions that many broadcasters or personalities are afraid to ask. And for Ralph to tweet that after we had got off the air and said he really enjoyed the show, I think that speaks volumes for ETV Live Radio, HD Radio Network, and for And the Winner Is Motorsports Show, that a broadcast announcer of that calling and caliber would put something out like that.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, you heard it
and
on
we got
ETV
one to
Live.
go.
You bet. And pace car is coming down the backstretch. Lights are out, so next time by, it'll pick up the green flag. But hell of a good show here tonight on ETV Live, and you'll hear it again. I believe it plays again on Fridays on the ETV Live radio station. Of course, you can get that off of iTunes, Windows Media Guide, and TuneIn.com. Get the mobile app as well, TuneIn.com. I've got it on my brand new smartphone. Of course, that's
Fast
another.
Track tomorrow night.
At Fast Track tomorrow night. But getting ready to take the green flag. Chad Cole, Bobby Terrell, Cale Dusback, Dwayne Vincent, John Milwain making up your top five as the green flag comes out, and we're back running here at the Rock.
And in the words of another great broadcaster, they go boogity, boogity, boogity down into turn number one. Randall Watkins down out in front of that number 3 Miller Lite car, Chevrolet, as that's the Dodge Charger, excuse me. Looks like he about had some contact with Schallenberger there for 16th and 17th spot. Down to the bottom of the apron is the 12 car, Douglas Wyatt. He better have some wings there for that Red Bull car. He definitely got loose a moment ago. As they'll come back to the corner now, he's going to deal with Watkins on his outside, and they come back to the line now to turn number 2.
Watching the 47 machine of Eric Arnold, 7th position up here, guys. And second time around here, he's hit the wall coming off of turn 2. Down the front stretch here, we're going to keep an eye on the 47 here and watch him go down into turn 1 here. He was fighting a very difficult handling car during practice session here tonight as he gets across the line. Caution possibly coming out, saves it down the backstretch. Holy cow, I'll tell you what, that's worth a rewind and a half. The 47 car, Eric Arnold almost losing it, getting plump sideways coming off of turn 2.
Man, the Navy Nuka Eric Arnold, he definitely knows how to put on some crazy highlights for ETV, and we just put his own first highlight reel of 2013. Who could forget the one in Charlotte when he was battling? Whoa, carpet front of Arnold gets a little smoke. He's got some Cheech and Chong riding with him on the rear end of that car. 88 of Adam Roberts, he'll get a little sideways. Now they're gathering back in. But yeah, Eric Arnold, always a talent to watch. And bottom line is he saved it, JD Webb.
Absolutely. I'll tell
got
you
a
what.
battle for the lead, it looks like, coming out of turn number 2.
Bobby Terrell and Chad Cole side by side up here, coming down the backstretch, going down into the turn here, and looks like Bobby Terrell is going to get the lead away from Chad Cole for a change here tonight, but the 45 alongside as well. Cale Dresbach, who was at the top of the leaderboard all during practice here tonight, he's going to take the position away from Cole as well. Cole stuck on the top side, and here comes the 51 machine, the 31 machine, Brian Macklin. He's going to get by Chad Cole as well.
Cole just ate the concrete on the outside lane down the back straightaway. He'll now fall back to 5th. And I'll tell you one guy you better watch. the number 6, the Cobra, the Tabasco Hot Sauce Chevrolet Impala number 6 of Dwayne Vincent. He has been on a hot streak. He won Talladega's inaugural Outlaw Truck Series show. He won the last RSR event. And I'll tell you what, JD Webb, I think tonight could be the night you can see him pull the hat trick off and go 3 in a row. He did pretty good at Rockingham in the RSR Sim Racing 200. And he's trying to battle for 4th.
And I believe Bobby Terrell, he's subbing for John Abbott tonight. Of course, John Abbott, and we ought to mention Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton taking the night off. He would have been in the booth tonight. I'm taking his place.
I was watching a blowout. I told you it wasn't even worth watching. It's 28-0 Alabama over Notre Dame.
Some kind of football game going on tonight. But yeah, I bet right now Michael Keaton probably wishing he was sitting here in the booth with us. We're having a whole lot more fun, I'm sure. 20-0. But right now, Chad Cole trying to gather it back up again. He's moved up to 4th position now, so putting that 31 machine down 1 notch. But I'll tell you what, Cowboy, this thing ain't over yet. 25 laps in the books, 125 to go here, 150 on the board. And going backwards here a little bit, it stretches out all the way back to about John Milwing, back to 6th position back here, guys. A little bit off the pace here, almost 2 seconds back of the leader, the 22 machine. Adam Roberts back here in 7th position in that 88 car as well. Jack Daniels, Tennessee Honey. And let me tell you something, if you haven't had a sip of that yet, oh, baby, that is smooth stuff.
We do not promote alcohol on ETV Live Radio. Please drink responsibly.
Or drink irresponsibly, who cares?
Hey,
but
he better drive responsibly. He's under attack. Nathan Little's on his back door. So is the 49 car of Angelino Cordino, and to the inside, here comes the Navy Nuke. Eric Arnold at 47. They all look, they're fighting over the last drink on the bar table, so to speak, on the 88 machine of Adam Roberts as they come back into the corner. Goodhart Racing, Nathan Little 97 car, tweaks down to the inside, gets a little sideways, tries to let him know he's there. He'll try to battle him one more time down to turn 3. Great racing here in the early going as they'll come to the line in the lead lap 29. As this 150 lap event, probably about 40 laps to halfway or so.
Matt Lacrosse made a good move past the 49 machine as well. So I'll tell you what, a lot of action happening back here. Oh, about 6 or 7 seconds in back of the leaders back here. Let's take it back a little bit further. Pretty much single file racing all the way back. A little bit of a battle happening here.
Trouble in turn number 4. One car goes around. It's going to be the 97 of Nathan Little. Little's car spins. Everybody else goes high, goes low, through the banking, in the middle goes Nathan Little's car. He'll not get any more contact than that, but the caution flag number 3 will come out over the speedway here at the Rock.
Looks like he might have gotten a little piece. I'm going to roll it up here a little bit and see if I can catch up. Oh, no, it looks like he did it all by himself. I almost thought maybe he got a piece of the Tennessee Honey, but I got a funny feeling the bumps probably got to that number 97 machine, and that's what happened there. But if you got more?
Yeah, you're exactly right, J.D. Webb. It started there. He was all in that clip with Eric Arnold, with Matt Lacrosse, with Adam Roberts. One thing led to another, and it looked like he just simply went in the middle of the corner in turn 3. You can't do that at the Rock. We mentioned how the treading is and how the banking is in the corners and where all of those bumps are in the racetrack. He's hit one of those bumps in the middle of the corner, and the car just completely came around, and he will be coming to pit road as well as a host of others. They'll be working lap number 31 of completion. To pit road we go to our all-star ETV Live Radio pit crew man, Mr. Dakota Ehrman.
Yeah, guys, everybody coming down. It's been 30-some laps since everybody's been able to come down since the start of the race, actually. We were kind of shocked that they stayed out. I actually talked to Chad Cole on the radio. He said he was trying to stay up for track position. We saw that did not work because he went to the back anyway, lost a few spots on the racetrack. And this time in, when they come in, they're making a small air pressure adjustment in the right rear. He's not very happy with the cars. He way overshoots the stall, has to back up. He will lose probably more than a spot there. When I look back at Bobby Luttrell, Bobby was under fire from the third place car, I believe it was Keldrive's back right there, second place car, excuse me, and looks like Bobby 4 tires of field, no changes, and is able to get out first here. But Bobby Luttrell under fire before we got the caution, but I have a feeling that he's one to watch here before it's over, guys.
And the man that's suffering, J.D. Webb, is Chad Cole. Everybody flies by him on pit road. A costly mistake. Being in pit stall 1, he'll come out, it looks like, last.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, there's two things that are precious to a race car driver: little girls and seconds lost on pit road. So I'll tell you what, precious seconds being lost by Chad Cole down there with that mistake. But I'll tell you what, let's get a couple of online on-air plugs out of the way here before we do anything else. I want to talk to you about the VRC Mark II virtual racing seat, and a huge thank you to Bob Earl for coming on board for 2013, sponsoring the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series here on ETV Live. And I'll tell you, if you haven't seen this thing yet, this is a simulation racing cockpit. It's designed by Bob Earl. He's a championship race car driver, retired now. But I'll tell you, who better than a real race car driver to design a simulation racing cockpit? And I'll tell you, he knows what it means to be comfortable inside the cockpit. The design features a fully adjustable seat and frame, additional monitor stand, shifter mount sold separately. Proud sponsor of the 2013 RSR Full Throttle Cup Series. I'll tell you what, very affordable, $349 plus shipping. You can see it at BobEarlRacing.com. Order one tonight, cowboy. Heck, it's a birthday present. I know Christmas is another 12 months away, but hey, you know what? Maybe next year's Christmas present. BobEarlRacing.com. And then let's talk.
Yeah, I'll tell you something else, JD Webb. I didn't mean to cut you off, boss, but you mentioning Bob Earl Racing. How about another great sponsor jumping on board? You just inked the deal during the off months. Inside Sim Racing, sponsoring the new Thursday night Real Sim Racing, Inside Sim Racing Asphalt Assault Series. Your first and best choice for all the news, reviews, and online motorsports. Join Darren Ganji and Sean Cole for the latest and greatest in product reviews, simulation, auto racing games for your PC and the Xbox. From steering wheels to full-size racing rigs, much, much more. Updates on popular racing games as well. They are the yellow pages of online auto racing, inside sim racing, but Darren and Sean has it all. Visit them online at isrtv.com. And we're excited to have them sponsor Asphalt Assault. Talk about that.
Yeah, you bet. I'll tell you what, I can't wait till that series starts here in another month or so. But right now, Bobby Terrell, he's going to pick up the green flag for the first time here tonight. Of course, he got it away from Chad Cole a few laps ago. And Kel Dresbach, Brian Macklin, Dwayne Vincent on the restart up here as we pick up the green flag. Backer racing at the Rock, cowboy. I'll tell you what, keep your eye on that 45 machine. He's getting up to the bumper of that 10 machine. Bobby Terrell driving for John Abbott tonight. Abbott, he's got his eyes glued in front of that TV set. Hell, at 20 to nothing, he'd probably sound asleep by now.
28-0. One car up into the wall. Brian Macklin Chevrolet. He hits the wall of the Timmy Hill Motorsports machine. That'll open up the door for Adam Roberts and the 22 of John Milwain. They'll hook up now with Matt Lacrosse. Woo! Macklin gave us a scare there, but they'll keep it green lights on after that scary moment. Now he'll try to run back down Adam Roberts in the Jack Daniels 88 Chevrolet back in turn 3.
And Eric Arnold in that 47 machine moves up to inside the top 5, guys. 4th position. Eric Arnold, as you recall, about 15, 20 laps ago, had a very scare coming up. I believe it was turn 2, and almost put that car into the wall. But Eric Arnold gets it back. Oh, as he takes a piece of the wall off of turn 2 again, down the backstretch. I'll tell you what, they keep doing that. That wall is going to come down, but Eric Arnold still fighting an ill-handling car here at the Rock. Oh, and he bangs it coming off of turn 4.
Another car that got into the wall a moment ago was up in the front pack for 1 and 2. Dresbach gets loose. He gets into Terrell's car. Terrell drifts up the top of the racetrack. New leader now, Gil Dresbach. Dresbach's now got Dwayne Vincent. They'll go 1 and 2. One wrong slip. I was just mentioning it, JD Webb, and it cost Bobby Terrell. He got sideways. The 45 of Dresbach capitalized on it, and now the Sharkworks Chevrolet out in front at the Rock on lap number 40.
I'll tell you what, Kel Dresbach saw that hole open up, and he just made the move and did it the way I would have done it. And Vincent fighting hard on the bumper up here.
And the battle for the lead heating up. Vincent's out in front, and I was talking about that driver, the man that you need to keep your eyes on, the threat, the man that won the last 2 events for RSR in 2012, now setting the bar for 2013. He leads the way. Dresbach goes to 2nd, and the man that's shake, rattling, and rolling, Eric Arnold, sits in 3rd, and I believe we got a caution flag.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it here. I see the 21 machine, Matt Lacrosse, around here, guys, and it looks like he might have tangled with somebody else. Dakota, did you pick something else up there?
Yes, sir, guys. And B. Macklin, Brian Macklin, he's been very good in the season, earlier in the season. I remember him doing very well, especially at the start at Michigan. Coming around for 6th place, he makes contact with the car on the inside, just barely, and then it might have even not made contact. Got loose, hit the wall, and then there he goes right into low cross. And then Macklin also going to slide down, and I believe he might get nailed one more time, but he has pulled it behind the wall. I believe he is done.
So
Almost
caution
looks like...
flag. Go ahead, Jay. We're cutting each other off, ain't we?
I'd say it's been a while since I've been up here in the booth. Almost looks like, these guys keep talking about this net code thing. I'm looking at it again here. I can see clean air between the 22 and the 31, but hey, it's just one of them things. Just not enough real estate there for both of them. Somebody's going to come out the loser. Somebody's going to come out the winner. But, of course, we saw what the results were of that. But caution number 4 here at the Rock.
Well, I'll tell you what, J.D. Webb, you can't talk about net code for me anymore, buddy. I'll tell you what, we got a great new internet program from the folks at CenturyLink, and I just want to send a shout out to Fred, the technical support man who is tuning in. Fred, thank you so much for helping us get our internet going and getting us set up here at the house. And not only top it off, I've had a great holiday season, a good Christmas, a good New Year. Got new internet, got a new laptop after a hacker said I was in Philippines and I got kidnapped. J.D. Webb, who was going to believe that spunk? And but when it was all said and done, got me a nice 55-inch big screen TV to boot.
Here's to you, Fred. Well, I'll tell you what, working in caution number 4 here at the Rock on lap 42. Why don't we go ahead and step away? Let's take a commercial break. Let's give our camera operator, the other executive producer, a chance to rest his fingers back there. So I'll tell you what, don't wander off, Cowboy. We'll be right back with more of the Notre Dame Alabama football game.
Do what?
Sam, we'll be right back.
Wow. Ralph Shahid on And the Winner Is Motorsports Show, and now I got Brent Musburger on ETV Live. Hey, we'll be right back right after this commercial break from Rockingham Speedway. This is, again, the ETV Live Rock 150.
Landon Huffman coming to a comfortable lead, coming out of 2. He's got about 8 car lengths, put it half a second over Dwayne Vincent as Chad Cole works the number 2 spot.
Time is running out. Vincent's got it. Cole wants it to the wall. Chevrolet puts the bumper to the 13 of Vincent. Vincent not backing down. He's in second. We got one car on the bottom of the 10 car.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
All right, and we are back live, taking the green flag. Dwayne Vincent out in front with Kel Dresbeck chasing him down. Bobby Terrell and that number 10 machine driving for John Abbott tonight. Adam Roberts, John Milwing, your top 5 up here. But I'll tell you what, Kel Dresbeck isn't letting Vincent get away too far here, guys. And like I said earlier, Kel Dresbeck laying down some impressive lap times during the practice session earlier here tonight at Rockingham. But I'll tell you, Dwayne Vincent coming off of a win at Homestead Miami Speedway here a couple of weeks back before the Christmas break. He's looking to pick up another trophy here at Rockingham Speedway. But take it back here just a little bit further, pretty much single file all the way back here till you get to 8th position. Chad Cole, who sat on the pole, started this thing off here tonight, went backwards before that last caution. Had a couple of incidents with a couple other people out here, though. But I'll tell you what, Chad Cole now fighting dirty air, Wesley, trying to get that number 7 machine back up to the front.
Yeah, no doubt about it. As the field comes back down to the line on the main straightaway, this will be lap number 49. Chad Cole now passing Schallenbarger's car and also the 84 of Jimmy North. But tell you what, back to focus on your leader, Dakota Ehrman, back to you on pit road. Talk about a man with momentum, as now he's under attack for the lead by Kel Dresbeck in that 45 car. He's led once tonight. He wants to get back up there and lead again, but the Tabasco Hot Sauce Cobra number 6 says, no way, Jose, I want the lead. I'm on my way. He'll jump out in front in turn 1, but Dresbeck back to the inside one more time. Single file. Now, you know the old saying is in motorsports, when you got 2 cars battling side by side, single file is better than door to door, because now that's allowed the 10 of Bobby Terrell to close those 2 leaders down. But Dakota Ehrman, down to you on pit road, buddy. Man, what a great way for Dakota Ehrman to win. What a great way for Dwayne Vincent to kick off 2013 with a victory. And can we say, is it safe enough to say that Dwayne's on a hot streak after winning the last 2 races of the year, 2012?
Well, I think last time I started mentioning something, it was about Talladega, and I was sitting here saying something about Talladega is not a whole lot of momentum. You got to go to a real track to see where momentum builds, and I think I was wrong about that. Yeah, and I think I was wrong about that because I think he won the race. So Dwayne Vincent definitely on a hot streak here. But I do want to look at the stats here. He was 6th in practice, 6th in qualifying. He's in the number 6. I think he told his crew chief before the race, I'm tired of being in 6th position. Let's take the 6th car to the front, and that's exactly what they've done. They're holding off Kel Dresbeck right now. I see Kel Dresbeck getting loose almost every corner when he comes off, so Kel Dresbeck definitely has his hands full trying to get around the 6th.
No doubt about it.
Let's take it back to,
Go ahead.
Hey, yeah, let's take it back to 8th position back here, the 84 car, Jimmy North. Now, Jimmy North, go back to qualifying. He didn't even qualify tonight. Started in the back of the field tonight, 26th position at 84, all the way up inside the top 10 here as he gets past the 35. And I'll tell you what, Jimmy North on his way to the front as well.
Field coming down to the line. Another lap on the board here at Rockingham Speedway. Down the back straightaway. Dwayne Vincent, Kel Dresbeck, 1 and 2. Bobby Terrell's in 3rd. And we'll come to the line this time by. It'll be lap number 55. Let's crank it up for you for the first time at 2013 RSR Icebreaker Winter Series from the Rockingham Speedway.
All right, we got a battle for the lead up here. Kel Dresbeck working over that number 6 car, hot and heavy. The 6 drifts up. That's going to open up the bottom, come off of turn 2, down the backstretch. 6 car, Dwayne Vincent fighting hard back. I'll tell you what, the 45 car all but gave up, got off the throttle there, and that's going to bring, I believe that's the number 10 car of Bobby Terrell right up to the bumper of Kel Dresbeck. Now, something happened there, guys, coming off of turn 2. Not quite sure what happened. Dresbeck cuts down to the inside. Vincent had the top. Now, traditionally, coming off the turns here at Rockingham, you want to be on the bottom, not the top. So I got a funny feeling something happened to that 45 car.
I don't know, JD. You know, you said they do like to drive the bottom of the racetrack. But here's something to think about. In the truck race that we saw, and also the ISR 200 that we saw back at Rockingham on December 1st, that was broadcasted on ETV Live, a lot of these drivers used the outside lane. Rhea Fowler won the race at Rockingham driving the outside lane. That opens up the opportunity, Dakota, to have 3 different grooves of racing. The bottom, the middle, and the top. What do you think, buddy?
I don't think they can use those 3 lanes. I think it's one sensitive line. I think we saw earlier with, I believe it was the 7, or not the 7, excuse me. I think Doug Roth or somebody in the back who got extremely loose when we were talking about it. If you miss that line just a little bit, those bumps are going to catch you wrong, and when you catch those bumps wrong, you're going to know it because you're going to be sideways. You also, you can't get too close to the apron, but you have to use it to turn these things. It's so line sensitive. If you're going to be up front, I don't think you can use more than the inside lane or the lane I described earlier.
I think the other thing that affects these guys too, you know, this is a relatively new track for iRacing, so it's pretty much an untested track. It really hasn't been released that long, so there's not enough time spent on the track to discover all the ins and outs and you know, where exactly the driving lines are. But as these guys work the track here tonight, I'll tell you something. Dwayne Vincent, Cale Dresbach, duking it out hard up here in the front. Dresbach on the bottom, going to try to get the position from Vincent again. Vincent's going to give it up off of turn 4, down the front stretch, crossing the line, score 1 for Cale Dresbach. Bobby Terrell, he's also chasing him down back here. Chad Cole, he's worked himself back up into the top 5 from a hiccup back there on pit road. Remember, this has been a couple of cautions ago. Chad Cole overshot his pit, precious seconds lost, Dakota.
Yeah, guys, and once he overshot his stall, he already had damage from nailing the wall earlier, so they decided to hold him, fix the damage on the car. That's what they did. He came all the way back up to what was, I believe, around 11th after that caution, and he's come from 11th since the restart up to, as you said, 4th. This guy is on a roll. They've got his car fixed, and he knows what to do with it, guys.
Oh, yeah, exactly right. As Cale Dresbach still leads him off of turn number 4. Back down to the front straightaway. Dwayne Vincent sitting in 2nd. Bobby Terrell in 3rd. And yes, they're closing in on back marker cars. As one man, what might have been, had a good run going for him. Nathan Little, we mentioned him earlier. Now they're going to lap the, looks like the 61 car. Whoa, we got cars up to the top of the wall there. Man, you want to talk about get out of my way, leaders. 61, Wyatt Wolf gave us a scare, J.D. Webb. He about ate the wall.
You bet. Wyatt Wolf, he's just fighting an absolutely ill-handling car. Lots of damage to that number 61 machine. He's 2 laps down right now, so he's just out there trying to collect the points and turn the laps. But I tell you what, he kind of pigeon-toned that thing down the backstretch here. But Wesley, you know, and the Winners Motorsport Show aired tonight, first time 2013. Eddie Davis, Ross Martin, Stephen Nasse, Brian Hubert. Probably the best segment of the night, of course, was with Ralph Sheenan from Speed. You bet. But I think the best segment tonight, probably with Speed TV personality Ralph Sheehan. But tomorrow night, Fast Track Racing Live Weekly, it premieres for the first time in 2013 on ETV Live as well. What's in store for tomorrow night's show?
Yeah, I'm going to go into third-party character right now. Fast Track Weekly Live is all about the nation's first and premier pro late model series in the country, hosted by the voice of the Fast Track Racing Series. And again, I'm in third party, Wesley Outland. Produced weekly this 2013 season by ETV Live Radio and HD Radio Network.
You'd go to anybody's party.
You know, I was trying to be professional and you ruined it.
Go ahead. Fast Track Weekly Live. Go ahead, Wes.
Yeah, Fast Track Weekly Live. Devin, you got me starting over. Produced weekly by ETV Live and HD Radio Network every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock Eastern, with replays on Thursday from 1 to 2 o'clock. Celebrate a decade of speed, as yes, this is the 10th anniversary of the Fast Track Racing Series, with the latest news for driver interviews, series promoters, sponsors, track promoters, and media personalities, plus much more, live on ETV Live Radio and HD Radio Network. And the winner is on Monday night, Fast Track Weekly Live on Tuesday. And I'll tell you what, man, we are very excited to be debuting tomorrow night on ETV Live Radio.
You've got, and I'll tell you what, some choice content coming our way for 2013 on the ETV Live Radio. And again, you can tune in. You can get the mobile app from TuneIn.com. You can find us at TuneIn.com. You can get us on the Windows Media Guide. We're also featured on the what's that Apple thing? iPad, iTunes, or something or other.
iTunes Radio, Tuned In Radio, app, Windows Media Guide, HDRadionetwork.com, and ETVLive-ePlay.net. If there's any others, we'll think of them.
There you go. And I'll tell you what, like I said, lots of new content coming our way for the ETV Live Radio, sports-related, race-related radio, plus the rock and roll, 80s, 70s rock and roll. But I'll tell you what, yeah, there's a lot of action happening out here on the track. I'm actually back here about 11th position with Chris Schallenbarger. He's in that 35 machine. There's quite a bit of action taking place out in front of him. The 44 car of Greg Netherwood has worked himself up into the 10th position, sitting in 10th. But the 33, David Lanza, in 9th position in front of him, duking it out with the 84 up on the outside. The 49 just getting past the 44 as well.
No doubt about it.
84
I'll tell you what, too, J.D. Webb, there's a delicious piece of chicken in front of the guys in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and that's your leader, Kel Dressback. Dwayne Vincent in the 6th, Bobby Terrell in the 10, Chad Cole in the 7. They have hooked up to try to run down the aroma of your leader as they exit out of turn 4. Slowly but surely, that interval closes as they come back to the line, as we're going to work halfway this time by at the Rock.
Elmo Langley, he's tuned in watching the race tonight. He's in the chat window over there. And, of course, the rest of you who are trying to watch this race, you can join us in the chat over there as well and get your name mentioned on the air. Just click that little bar down there underneath the playback window on the front page there of etv-eplay.net. But join us in the chat room over there. But pretty good race here tonight, guys. 75 laps in the book. We're about at the halfway point or so. 150 laps on the board, 4 cautions for the night, so it looks like things have settled down here quite a bit.
No doubt about it. Kel Dressback, the 45, is your leader. Dwayne Vincent in the 6 is 2nd. Bobby Terrell was 3rd in the 10. Chad Cole in the 7 is 4th. And John Milwane is the top 5. Before we go to commercial break at a halftime, I'll tell you what, Dakota Irma, what's your thoughts of the first half of the race in the action on pit road?
Well, it was rather shocking at first that nobody came down on the first caution again, but things have kind of shaken out here. It's been interesting. My eyes have been on Chad Cole, though. I mean, coming from the rear of the field, so we basically have a lead there. Battle for second, that was really good. They almost made contact, but like I said, Chad Cole coming from the rear, he was the guy that watched, not feeling he'll be there in the end as a competitor for the lead, possibly. It's been an exciting race, though, and it has been more green flag laps than some people expected, including myself, so I'm pretty surprised at this, and I think it was a great race so far, guys.
No doubt about it. J.D. Webb, what's your thoughts of the first half?
Absolutely, same thing. I go along with Dakota. I was a little bit shocked when I didn't see everybody coming down that first caution back on lap 6, but looks like crew chiefs have got this thing sorted out, did their homework during the practice session here tonight, and I'll tell you what, after 79 laps, we'll put 80 in the books here in just a couple of seconds. I'll tell you what, looking to be a fantastic race here tonight. Let's go ahead and take it to commercial. You're watching a live ETV Live, Cowboy. It's the only game in town for your internet online sim racing broadcaster. So don't wander off. We'll be right back.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
Landon Huffman coming to a comfortable lead, coming out of 2. He's got about 8 car lengths, put it half a second over Dwayne Vincent as Chad Cole works the number 2 spot.
Time is running out. Vincent's got it. Cole wants it to the wall. Chevrolet puts the bumper to the 13 of Vincent. Vincent not backing down. He's in second. You know, and we got one car on the bottom of the 10 car. Blimp view, high above Rockingham Speedway. I'll tell you what, you see the interval high above the racetrack. It's opened up to 1.2 seconds now as Kel Dresbach on the blimp view trying to close in on the Navy Nuke of that 47 Navy Chevrolet. And now you go about 1.2 seconds back at the stripe, and there's Chad Cole sitting in second. High above Chad Cole sitting in third is Bobby Terrell, and that lead has kind of separated a little bit because they got a lap machine of the 32 of Rich Jett in front of them. Dwayne Vincent comfortably sitting in fourth. And we welcome you back to Rockingham Speedway. It's the ETV Live Rock 150 from the Rock. I'm Wesley Outland along with JD Webb, Dakota Ehrman working pit road, and our all-star pit crew of Dakota Ehrman doing a great job in the pits too. And he's also the associate producer. And I am working with the executive producer, a man that normally don't get to work in the booth that much, JD Webb. JD, I'll tell you what a great race we've had here so far, but looks like things settling down. Kel Dresbach's race to lose.
Yeah, it is. I'll tell you what, Chad Cole, he's worked himself all the way back up inside the top three up here, sitting in second. He's chasing down Dresbach now. But I'll tell you what, he's about a half a second off here. 89 laps in the book. Let's call it 90 laps here at Rockingham. So far, so good. We've got the early cautions out of the way. Last one back on lap 42 between the 22 and 31. Remember, we don't know if it was netcode or whatever happened there, but of course, trying to share the same real estate didn't happen, Cowboy. And caution is out. There you go, caution. You start talking about them and then see what happens.
Yellow flag out over the speedway for the 5th time. Dakota Ehrman, did you get a glimpse of what happened?
Not quite yet. I'm still looking for like you guys are. I do see smoke though. Looks like
I want to say it might have been Jose Gonzalez in the 11 car.
Yeah, I'm still looking here too, guys. Whatever happened must have happened quick, because I can't find it.
I want to say it was Jose Gonzalez. Keep your view on the replay for the 11, the Windows Phone Miami Dolphin car. And the caution's out for the 5th time. We know that much, guys.
Yeah, the caution's out for the 5th time here at Rockingham. We have no idea why, but rolling it back here, and looks like I've got one car coming off the wall. It's a 98 machine of Stephen Herring, but I don't think that's what caused the caution. Dakota, what do you got, bud?
I'll tell you who it was. It was Nathan Little in the 97 in the 21st position. I believe he was a lap down, more than one. He's considered 3 laps down currently. Looks like I want to watch him come off of turn number, I believe that's 2. He's going through there. He's going way high in the corner, which is something we hadn't seen from the front guys. Nails the wall, gets loose, nails the inside wall just a little bit, moves back up the track, and I don't think he gets nailed again, but he does. Yeah, he does pull it behind the wall. It looks like really quick there. So Nathan Little's 9 is over, unfortunately.
Definitely. What a tough break there for that 97 car of Nathan Little in the University of Pikeville Tigers entry. Well, do you come to pit road? Do you not come to pit road? Kind of reminds me of that theme from the movie, the quote on the movie Days of Thunder. Cole, you've been under green for 68 laps. Everybody's got a pit. What are you thinking, Dakota? Everybody gonna come to pit road? I know the lead. Well, no, the leader ain't pitted either, but pit road has not opened yet.
Well, I'll tell you what. Actually, it has. So we sent someone looking for the cause of the caution. That I think we missed the leaders going down. Yeah, I think we missed the leaders going around there. But I believe everybody came down. Chad Cole is up to second. I don't know what happened to what was the leader. I believe he's kind of gone to the back somehow. But Dwayne Vincent has snuck off with the lead, and Chad Cole in second. Remember, Chad Cole again making that big comeback. 4 tires of fuel is what I'm hearing for everybody after the long run. And I believe they're set to go from here on fuel, guys.
Yeah, you know, JD Webb, I was thinking about chicken, and then all of a sudden the 98 of Stephen Herring, the Bojangles car, hit the wall, and man, there goes my chicken thoughts. And of course, Nathan Little also a cause of that caution.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Kel Dresbach here, guys, in that 45 machine. I'm all the way back to the pit stops. Not quite sure what happened here. Watching the playback here, he gets into his pit box. Everything looks good. Tire change goes well. Not quite sure what happened here as he gives up quite a few positions. That's Kel Dresbach in that number 45 machine. Now he was running up in the top up there with Dwayne Vincent and Terrell and everybody, but
we have a new leader.
and,
We have a new leader after the pit stops, and I'll tell you what, JD, didn't mean to cut you off, buddy. But yeah, Dwayne Vincent coming down to the early going here with 57 laps to go. He'll be the man for the restart lead.
You bet. And I think we've got Chad Cole on the radio on that number 7 machine. Chad, is JD up in the booth? You got us, bud?
We're going green, man.
Yeah, we are going green. We'll come back to you again. But green flag is out. Dwayne Vincent picking it up. Chad Cole duking it out up here on the outside. John Milwane, Bobby Terrell, Adam Roberts, your top 5 on the restart. Jack Daniels, Tennessee Honey Cowboy. I'll tell you what, riding in the 5th position, that number 88 machine is Adam Roberts, looking pretty sweet here tonight. And back of him, Chris Schallenberger in 8th position, that 35 car. Quite a bit of damage on the left side, left rear of that machine, but the spoiler is still sticking straight up. Chad Cole duking it out with Dwayne Vincent, new leader up in front. Move that number 7 car up one more notch, Cowboy.
Leaders come down to the line, and we got caution lights out just as fast as the green flag fell. Oh, trouble again.
And I see Cale back around, guys, on his roof, all kinds of stuff. He gets in trouble with the 84 Jimmy North coming off of, I believe that's turn number 4, yeah. I don't know whether Cale didn't give him enough room or what, but it looks like they just made contact in the middle of the straightaway. It looks like Cale maybe getting a little loose, maybe getting into him. Ends up Cale gets on his roof. Wow.
Replay out of turn 4. You'll see it on the ETV side-by-side replay there. E-ticket ride indeed for the 45 of the Skunk Works. Boy, you want to talk about some bull stank. He just had it in that 45 Chevrolet. Definitely coming out of turn 4. He clips the 84 of Jimmy North. It's Miller time. No, it's concrete time. His car goes up into the air. He hits the 45 of Dresbach. Dresbach's car does a 180 upside down over the start-finish line. And, man, I'll tell you what, JD, I'm surprised nobody else got collected in that 2-car incident.
I'll tell you what, Cowboy, there's a photo op if I haven't seen one. The 45 machine taking an e-ticket ride after contact with the number 84 machine. Of course, the 84 not doing too shabby either, doing that pirouette, triple axle down the front straight. But I'll tell you what, the dance is on here at the Rock. 95 laps in the book. This is going to be caution number 6. The night ain't over yet.
And I know for a fact that Kel Dresbach was probably singing I Believe I Can Fly just a moment ago as caution flag comes out over the speedway.
And I believe we got Chad Cole back on the radio again. Let's see if we can get to him. Chad, JD, and the boys up here in the booth.
Yeah, I got you guys.
Hey, better luck this time around. I'll tell you what, working from the back to the front here after starting up in the front, a little issue on pit road here about 4 or 5 cautions ago. What was the strategy then to try to get that number 7 machine back up to the front?
Just patience. Long race, 150 laps is pretty long for a track this size. You know, just trying to be patient, work through the traffic. Had to keep the right front on it. I know the first run, I thought I was keeping an all right pace, but I was going just a little bit too fast, burned that right front off. Ended up catching the wall a little bit off too there, so you know, actually that happening and sliding through the pit box wasn't all that bad. Got those 2 fresh right side tires and was able to get through the pack there.
Hey, I tell you what, I love that Hippie's paint shop paint job on your car, Chad Cole. Talk about that, dude. That looks awesome.
Yeah, I know. Just hanging out with Hippie Wyatt there and looking through all his paint schemes. He does some great work, so he offered to paint one for me, and kind of the same sponsor layout, just a different base. And I love it. It's just beautiful, especially under lights at night. Oh.
You know, Chad, let's talk about the track here for just a minute while we're pacing around here at the Rock. You know, the guys were talking about it earlier. Dakota spent some time down in the garage telling and talking to some of the crew chiefs. Track is real bumpy. There seems to be maybe 1, maybe 2 racing crews out there. What are you finding out there here tonight at the Rock?
I just want to stick to the bottom. You know, that's near the white line is about the quickest way around here. There's a little bit of a bump in and 2 that seem to come up and bite you every once in a while. Then of course 3 and 4 is just landmine to bumps. You gotta be careful through there, but if you hit them straight, you should be all right.
And through Chad is in Dakota, and through 1 and 2, I know that I've seen you guys kind of like you talked about that, trying to miss that bump. Is the goal to throw the car in low, almost hit that apron, and move up about a lane and a half or so, and try to power back off the corner low?
Yeah, you're exactly right. You're kind of diving it in there, trying to get that nice arc off.
All right, Chad Cole on number 7 machine. Good luck to you down there, bud. As we get ready to go green one more time, pace car making its way off with 3 and 4 here. It'll make that sharp left-hand turn, go down pit road. We'll be flying around here again. Chad Cole's picking up the green flag one more time here at Cowboys. Started out that way here tonight. We had to work at it a little bit and get it back. On the outside of him is John Milway in the 22 as the green flag comes out. Bobby Terrell, Adam Roberts, Angelo Cordino making his way up inside the top 5 on the restart.
And Patrick Cahey put the words out to us best. It is an Alabama blowout. 35-0 over Notre Dame. You're enjoying the best event of the night right here on ETV Live. You can see a replay. They'll probably show it later on the night as well. But, man, what a whitewasher it's turned out right now. Chad Cole, great jump on the restart. I'll tell you what, JD, I don't know if we can go back and show a replay of that restart, but I was kind of wondering if maybe he might have jumped. But it's at the discretion of the leader, and he is leading. He can go whenever he's ready for it.
Yeah, you know, these guys, we got something happening up here. Almost a caution coming out. Let's see if I can catch up with that one.
Whoa,
I believe it was
that
coming
was
off
not
the
good.
10 machine.
Yeah, the 10 car. Bobby Terrell gets into the 33 of David Lanza, and now he's about to make contact with Chris Schallenbarger as they battle out of the corner. I'll tell you what, it looks like that 10 car, Bobby Terrell, is definitely loose. Dakota Ehrman, are they saying anything about that 10 Chevrolet on pit road?
Yeah, we did. I mentioned earlier that they were rather comfortable with the car, but the longer they've been out there, the less they've been happy with it. They were actually trying to pull out a little bit of air pressure in the last stop. It did not quite work. As you can see, he's still sideways around. And I believe he also caught those bumps, and those bumps are really... And once you slide this car once, your tires are almost gone. It'll feel like, so he will be sliding quite a bit more, guys.
No doubt about it. JD Webb, can I also say something else, buddy? With 47 laps to go since this last restart, does it not look like these guys have hit the go pedal? They know it's down to whitewasher time. You've got to throw your cards on the table right now because 50 laps remaining, 46 remaining. They will fly by here at the Rock in the blink of an eye as they'll come to 45 remaining this time by.
You bet. And going back to that issue with the 10 machine, it was actually the 88 car, Tennessee Jack Daniels Honey, actually getting in the back of Bobby Terrell, driving for John Abbott here tonight. So that's what started that thing. But Terrell able to hang on to it, none the worse for wear. But I tell you what, out in front, it's a Chad Cole show here tonight at the Rock. John Milway, he lies about a second and a half off of the bumper of Chad Cole.
Turn forward right in front of the leaders. Dwayne Vincent's machine spins down to the infield in turn number 4. A single car incident. All the momentum, everything he was working for goes up south as Vincent's machine spins coming out of turn 4, and the caution's out for the 7th time, JD Webb.
Yeah, I don't think there's a caution yet. I don't see anything happening yet, but I see it looks like the number 10 machine also getting sideways again. I'll tell you what, the hammer's down, and these guys are finding that it's a little bit more difficult now than it was earlier as they chase down those checkers. No caution yet. We are still green flag racing here, guys. And I'll tell you what, like I said, I think these guys are now finding out that chasing those checkers isn't what it was cut out to be here at the first half of the race. So I think these guys still got to, go light on the gas pedal here at the Rock.
And the word from the RSR officials that Dakota Ehrman, jump in here when you're ready. The reason why they did not throw the yellow was Dwayne Vincent was out of harm's way down to the bottom of the racetrack. When he spun out, he was able to get momentum and get back going again. Therefore, it was not a safety issue to throw the caution.
Yeah, when he did spin out, like you said, it was below the line. There was no cars that really are supposed to be racing below that line. I mean, you can't race in the grass in turn 3 and 4. It just doesn't happen. So, I mean, he was in a safe spot, like you said, and it was only a single car spin. I think you only see them, I mean, even if it's below the apron, they won't throw it for at least a 2-car wreck or something of the sort.
And now he'll go to the tail end of the lead lap, J.D. Webb. A tough break for the man that was at one time leading the race. Now he is close to going a lap down at the tail end, and the man, his adversary, who's been battled most of this race with him, Chad Cole, sits in second. And how about the Dodge Charger Mopar colors of John Milwain sitting in second? But he's got a long road to hoe to run down Chad Cole. 2.5 seconds he's leading down the backstretch.
And I'll tell you what, at a 1 mile track, 2.5 seconds, that's a long ways around this baby. Let's go back to 9th position back here, just inside the top 10, the 47 machine, the Navy Nuke, as they call him, Eric Arnold, in that blue and gold machine back here. I'll tell you what, picking up another position as he gets around Chris Schallenberger. But Eric Arnold fighting an ill-handling car pretty much all night long, guys. Got to give this guy some credit. Sitting in 8th position now, Eric Arnold able to manhandle that number 47 machine around the rock here tonight. I'll tell you what, doing a fine job staying inside the top 10.
No doubt about it. Here comes the field back to the line. Look at this battle for 6th and 7th now. Adam Roberts, the Jack Daniels Honey Whiskey car of the 88 on the outside at Chevrolet. Now going to get some company from another driver that's had a pretty good end of 2012, and I think he's going to be a driver to watch. And Dakota, I'm going to throw you back into this mix. I'm talking about Doug Roth. Doug Roth, the SDP retro colors of Richard Petty. Man, does it just seem like the last couple of races of 2012, he was just there in the end, spin where he needs to be to make the right moves, don't make any mistakes. And for a driver that struggled a lot in 2012, look at the high note he's got here tonight at Rockingham, sitting in the top 10 and 8.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Doug Roth, I mean, he's been slowly progressing, getting better and better each week, it seems like. And I have a feeling, I mean, before long he'll be top 5s, you know, easily, or, you know, he'll be able to compete for top 5s. But once he gets those down, I mean, kind of the wins will just come. I mean, he's coming. I got a feeling.
Thoughts on J.D. Webb the thoughts on J.D. Webb. The thoughts on Doug Roth, J.D. Webb?
Well, you know, I've had the luxury of being able to watch most of the last half of last season from the RSR Real Sim Racing League races here. And I'll tell you what, I'm very impressed with Doug Roth, doing a fine job. I'll tell you what, inside the top 10 here tonight with that 43 machine, I love that car. Of course, you know, one of my heroes back in the day, Cowboy, I'll tell you what, the owner of that 43 machine, he knew how to get the job done as well too. The 47, yeah, he is in a sandwich. 47 machine. Here comes that Navy Nuke, Eric Arnold, up on the outside, looking for another one, Cowboy, as he's going to get it across the line. Eric Arnold up to 7th position here, late in the race. 117 in the book, so we're on the short side of things here at the Rock. And you know, this is one track that I think NASCAR made a huge mistake in taking it off the schedule back. Gosh, it's been what, 10 or 12 years. Yeah, I think 2004. You know, I mean, this is the kind of racing that I like to see, that I like to watch. I mean, you can dump them big tracks, you know, get rid of the Michigans, the Californias, and maybe even Chicago's. The short track stuff, bumper to bumper, door handle to door handle. This is racing, Cowboy. This is the way it ought to be.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You know, another thing that really affected the reason why they lost the NASCAR dates at Rockingham was because, you know, they felt like they didn't have the attendance of the fans anymore, and the crowds dropped off, and the attendance dropped off. And I know that in a business perspective side of things, you got to make a change if you're not cutting the mustard, so to speak. But when they took NASCAR away from Rockingham Speedway, it was a shock from a lot of people in a perspective. But I'm telling you, Andy Hillenberg and the folks at Rockingham Speedway, I know them very well. I've announced at Rockingham at the real track. They have done an outstanding job at building that place back up. I want to remind everybody that I announced the race last year. They're going to be back in action again this year, April the 13th, 14th, and 15th. Get your tickets for the Good Sam Roadside Assistance 200, which is the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series at Rockingham. And I'll tell you what, J.D. Webb, they put on an awesome show last year, won by Casey Kane and the Rockwell Automation, number 20, the Rockwell Automation Toyota. I'm telling you, keep an eye on that driver and the rest of the drivers of the trucks. I think it's going to be an even exciting event this year in 2013 than it was last year. You got to remember, when they went to Rockingham, it was the first time NASCAR had ran at Rockingham in almost 9 years. Now they've had a chance to shake them trucks down, see what type of racing atmosphere it's going to be, and I believe in April they're going to get their money's worth. Fans, order your tickets for the Good Sam Roadside Assistance 200. JD Webb, I know I'll be there up in the booth.
You bet, and I'll tell you what, you get a chance to get out there to that race, go on up to that booth and see if you can say howdy to Wesley Outland calling that race. But, you know, I've been watching.
Security will be blocking the door.
I've been watching the 43 here, and the 35 car, Chris Schallenberger and the 43 of Doug Roth. They were duking it out here the last couple of laps, trading back and forth. Schallenberger has slipped back to 10th position now as Doug Roth moves on into 8th. But in between him, Greg Netherwood in 9th in that sandwich in that 44 machine. I'll tell you what, almost looked like Netherwood was going to be able to hang on to that position up there, but I tell you, Doug Roth and Chris Schallenberger were putting up quite the fight.
One driver that lost his wings and now gathering it back is the Red Bull color number 12, a Douglas Wyatt. Lost it just a moment ago, hit the wall on the outside of turn 2. Dawes' car's off the pace. He's now the next car. Well, actually, he's 1 lap down, so if we do have a caution, he'll get the lucky dog and get his lap back. But right now, Chad Cole getting ready to run down the man that was out in front earlier. Earlier in this race, he was battling for the lead with the driver. He's about to put a lap down. He just put Stephen Herron in the Bojangles 98 car a lap down. Now, he'll close in on that number 6 of the Cobra, Dwayne Vincent. When it's not your night, it's not your night. A costly mistake, J.D. Webb. And now, where Dwayne Vincent was contending for the lead, he's now trying to hold on to being on the lead lap out of turn 2.
You bet. As Chad Cole now faces some lap down traffic. I'll tell you what, that puts him back into dirty air here. But look at the time. The gap here, guys, almost 6 seconds between him and John Milwain. Milwain holding down that second position back here. About 1 second out in front of David Lanza in that 33 car. But I'll tell you, as I roll down through the field here, guys, there's not hardly a car on the track here that doesn't have some kind of a dent, scrape, paint missing, something on each one of these cars.
Yeah, I was telling Dakota Ehrman he needs to throw his microphone onto the racetrack off of Pit Road because I don't think nobody is going to be able to catch Chad Cole unless we see something of that magnitude. But you never know. Anything can happen. This one car bounces off the wall. Jimmy North in the 88-84 car. Wow, that could have been a scare right in front of your leaders. And he loses a couple of spots, but he's already 28 laps down, maybe more. Remember, he got into that wreck earlier tonight with the 45 of Kel Dresbach. As, man, I'll tell you what, I thought we were going to have a caution. We didn't. Chad Cole still leads the way. But I tell you what, JD, you got to give it attaboy to Dwayne Vincent. He's the next car to go a lap down, but that just shows you how strong the Tabasco Hot Sauces Chevrolet number 6 really was. It is a dogfight for Chad Cole, the leader, to try to get around that 6.
I'll tell you what, whether you're a lap down or not, they still call it a race, but you're absolutely correct. Dwayne Vincent picking up the trophy at Homestead Miami Speedway back about the middle of December at the just before the break here, but doing an outstanding job. But let's take it back to 10th position here. Scott Brotherton, he's driving for Joey Gattina tonight. I think Joey and John Abbott, Mike Keaton, I think they're all probably sitting around the gaming table sound asleep wondering what happened to that football game. As I believe, what was the score, 28-0 last time?
35-0. Is that the score, 35-0?
I mean, that's not even a football game.
This just in, J.D. Webb. Notre Dame did get some points on the board.
Oh, jeez. I mean, at some point, I mean, you know, when it gets to 35-0, wouldn't you just kind of walk over to across the field and say, hey, you know what, we quit?
It ain't over till the goose egg shows up on the scoreboard.
I'll
tell you what, though. Yeah, I'll tell you what. JD says, I'll tell you what. We both got the read of the minds. Hey, I'll tell you what. Let's take our final commercial break, and we'll take you flag to flag to the checkered flag. Man, I'm a poet. I didn't even know it, JD Webb. 16. They'll make it 15 laps to go this time by J.D. Webb, along with me, Wesley Outlet in the booth, as well as Dakota Ehrman. We'll take you side by side. You won't miss a thing to the checkered flag. ETV Live is the only choice in simulation auto racing broadcasting. Since 2008, ETV Live has produced over 600 shows for almost 300,000 viewers. We crossed that landmark in 2012. ETV Live has pioneered and engineered some of the best innovations in online sports entertainment. The industry experts know ETV Live. It's the only choice. The leader in sim broadcasting. Go to etv-eplay.net. Side by side, the final 13 laps from the Rockingham Speedway. This is ETV Live Radio, powered by HD Radio Network, the leader in sim broadcasting.
Inside SimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
All right, and we are back live under caution for the 7th time here at the Rock, guys. It looks like it's going to be the 22 and the 10 getting into it. The 10 is going to get the bumper of the 22 machine, Wesley, and push him on around down the front stretch. That's going to be an E-ticket ride for that number 22 car, and that's going to be John Milwain. But it doesn't stop there. Take it back a couple of notches. The 88 machine, he gets tangled up into that mess too, and goes for a ride as well. So working caution, number 7 here at the Rock in the closing laps.
Yeah, that's when I caught the end of that incident there. And I'll tell you what, the only man that's unhappy for this caution is the 7 of Chad Cole, because this allows J.D. Webb, everybody to bunch up and close in on Cole for the finish for a 10-lap shootout. You want to talk about the leader in sim broadcasting covering racing? How about a shootout, a 10-lap dash for the first race of 2013, J.D. Webb at the Rock?
Yeah, you bet. I'll tell you what, Chad Cole did not want to see that caution coming out here at the Rock with a very comfortable lead. Let's call it almost a 6-second lead up there before that caution came out. He now is going to have a whole lot of people looking for that checkered flag here in about less than 9 laps. Actually, when we get back to racing, it'll probably be less than 6 when we go back to green flag. But I'll tell you what, Chad Cole absolutely did not want to see that caution come out.
Now, I'll tell you something else too, J.D. Webb. It looks like John Milwain and Adam Roberts kind of having a little bit of cyber fighting, so to speak, if you want to talk about it, under this caution flag, kind of saying you should have shook up, you should have shook up, you should have checked up, you should have braked, baby. He's kind of a little upset upset about what happened there on that deal, and of course you see that in real life racing as well. Tempers flare, and it's kind of this thing happened here tonight. He says you should have held the brake, and he says I was holding the brake, and all of a sudden I don't know what happened. My car shot up and I got hit, and one thing led to another. But having another thing leading to another, the number 10 car now, Bobby Terrell. Now he'll be your leader, and look at this name, JD, the Pabst Blue Ribbon Canada number 49. That is Angelino Cordino to the lead, or he'll be on the outside. Got a chance to battle for the victory now as Chad Cole falls back to third, and the Navy Nuke Eric Arnold sitting in fourth. And how about David Lanza in fifth? A lot of great names, drivers that we don't see normally in the front of the pack. They got a chance to put this cars in victory lane here in the late rally, as it looks like we're going to come to the green this time by, sir.
Yeah, I'll probably have to go back and look at that again. I'm not quite sure how Bobby Terrell got out there in front and how Chad Cole lost that lead up here, but might have been down on pit road. But getting ready to go back to green flag, it'll be Bobby Terrell, Angelo Cardino, Chad Cole, Eric Arnold looking for the checker flag here tonight with 7 laps to go here at the Rock. Gets a good start. Bobby Terrell out to the front. Angelo Cordino up on the top side. Everybody's got him freight trained. He pushes out to the wall here.
Trouble!
One down on the apron.
Eric Arnold's car hits the apron, smacks the outside wall, comes back onto the racetrack, and he's still in fifth. J.D. Webb as they'll come to the line with 6 to go.
6 to go at the Rock. Tell you what, Eric Arnold in that 47 machine down on the bottom, 35 up on the top side here as we wind this thing down. I tell you what, we are on the last leg of this thing as the 33 machine of David Lanza moves into third position up here, chasing down that number 10 of the 7 of Chad Cole up here. So that's going to be David Lanza for second, moving Bobby Terrell back to third, guys. So Chad Cole back to the lead up here in the front as he tries to rebuild that 7-second lead, almost a 7-second lead he had before that caution came out. David Lanza chasing him down just a half a second off. I'll tell you what, the 33 car picking up and putting him down just like he should be. But I'll tell you what, he's going to have some company back here. Bobby Terrell, he didn't give it up that easy, but he may be fading back here just a little bit. Bobby Terrell almost a second and a half off the pace.
My vote, J.D. Webb, for the hard charger of the race has got to go to the number 6, Dwayne Vincent. In an incident, rallies his way back to the front, came back close to being a lap down from Chad Cole. Caution comes out, and now he's in the top 5. We got trouble on the front.
Trouble on the front stretch.
Vincent's involved. Vincent Cars is involved. Arnold's car's caught up in it. So is Greg Netherwood. Big trouble out of turn number 4 on the front stretch.
And that is going to end the race for tonight, and Dwayne Vincent's shot at taking another trophy home here from the Rock. And I'll tell you what, I'll have to go back and look at that one again. Dwayne Vincent coming from almost going a lap down. Chad Cole was all but on his bumper before that last caution with almost a 7-second lead. And I'll tell you what, Dwayne Vincent looking for a good finish here tonight isn't going to get it. He and the 47 car of Eric Arnold make contact off of 4, back way off of turn 4, just heading into that tri-oval down there. And you can see Vincent working that wheel hard, trying to keep control of that car. Almost has it, gets across that apron line, and then gets slammed by... I think that was Greg Netherwood in the number 44 machine. But what an end to this race here at the Rock for the I don't even know what series
Live
is
Rock
this.
150 for the RSR Icebreaker Winter Series.
Icebreaker.
J.D. Webb is definitely you can tell he's a little bit unseasoned. Let's look on the replay one more time. They bang fenders. I was just talking about a great comeback J.D. Webb, Dwayne Vincent was making. They hit each other coming out of turn 4. They bang fenders. Arnold's car hits the wall. Arnold got separated from Vincent. Vincent's car goes to the bottom of the apron, and then they just... Well, it looked like for a minute there, Vincent was actually going to get away from the incident, and then the 32 car of Rich Jet gets into Arnold, spins him around, and it's like he should have been gone by the time I got there. And in the process, the 35, wow, Dwayne Vincent nowhere to go. His car, yeah, there we go. That's the one I need to check out there. Oh, yeah. This was long after Arnold's incident. Arnold spins after hitting Vincent by and by. 32 of Rich Jett gets into Vincent. 44 of Greg Netherwood, the Flamer. 44 gets up in the air. Barrel rolls Vincent's car. 35, Schallenberger involved. Doug Roth, I mentioned a great job he was doing. He gets involved. Oh, man. And the 82 adds insult to injury for Vincent by getting to his back door as well, or side of Terry Lane. Big trouble there, J.D. Webb on the last lap. You don't want to end a race like that, but sometimes it happens that way.
Yeah, you know, and this thing is going to end under caution here tonight as we make it past the final lap here at the Rock. Chad Cole's going to pick up the trophy here tonight. David Lanza finishing a solid second. Bobby Terrell driving for John Abbott tonight is going to finish third. Angelo Cordino with a fine effort will finish fourth. Rich Jett, your top five here at Rockingham Speedway. And I'll tell you what, you know, I hate seeing those kinds of finishes, but you know, we see more and more of that even in the real races. I mean, that's just letting it all hang out and getting.
Oh, and they're getting into it in the chat box too, by the way, JD Webb. There's definitely some trash talking going on.
Yeah, you know, and I'll tell you what, I mean, this is short track racing at its best, you know. I mean, there's going to be some door slamming, bumper banging. That's just the way it is. And sometimes you just got to, you know, you just got to put up with it. That's how it happens. You want to be a race car driver? Well, guess what, cowboy? You can't win them all. And you just go out there and do your best. And I guarantee you, if you don't come home with some dents and dings and paint scratches, something's wrong with you and your car.
No doubt about it, but one thing's for certain, that number 7 Valvoline Hippies Paint Shop entry, who we spoke to during a caution break, comes and wins, holding off the likes of David Lanza in the Wheaties 33 orange colors. Unison to what the late Dale Earnhardt drove in the 1997 running of the Winston All-Star race. Remember that event, the orange Wheaties car, number 3 that he drove? Same color paint scheme there in the 97 Winston, and that was David Lanza's 33 car finishing in second. Bobby Terrell, great comeback for him, third. Angelino Corndino, the Pabst Blue Ribbon 49, Anna Canada finishing fourth. Rich Jett, the top 5. But J.D. Webb, Chad Cole, juking, jiving down below the flag stand here at the Rock, doing them burnouts and burning up that Goodyear rubber as he wins the ETV Live Rock 150. And what a rock and roll, smash 'em, bang 'em show we had here tonight, Cowboy.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, as number 7, Chad Cole celebrates his win, let's go ahead and step away, commercial break. When we come back, the post-race show here from the Rock. So don't wander off. We'll be right back.
Landon Huffman coming to a comfortable lead, coming out of 2. He's got about 8 car lengths, put it half a second over Dwayne Vincent as Chad Cole works the number 2 spot.
Time is running out. Vincent's got it. Cole wants it to go off. Chevrolet puts the bumper to the 13 of Vincent. Vincent not backing down. He's in second. You know, and we got one car on the bottom of the 10 car.
Inside SimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
All right, we are back at the Rock. I'll tell you what a finish here tonight. Chad Cole picking up the trophy here at Rockingham Speedway, and down here in Victory Lane, Chad, yeah, Standing down here with Chad Cole, and I want to take you back to the start of the race, picking up the pole here tonight. But then about the midway point or so, you went absolutely backwards. A little issue on pit road that set you right to the back of the field, and then come back to the front, earn a 6-second lead, and then the last caution comes out. Tell us about your race, bud.
It was definitely an up and down one for sure. Yeah, I was feeling pretty good. I actually got a good lap in qualifying, which I didn't expect. But yeah, I mean, I thought I was keeping a good pace there at the beginning, but I just drove the right front tire off it actually, and then Bobby and 2 other guys got passed. Like I said, caution came out there. I slid through my pit, fixed damage, so I was all the way to the back. Then wow, I was just had to pace myself. Just had to be tiptoeing through the field, getting through the lap traffic, and back half the field. Just wow, it's an awesome run.
Hey, welcome to the Rock, and I know the track hasn't been out that long, so this is probably a new experience for a lot of people in the iRacing series here. But this just might be the practice race that you need for the Real Sim Racing, the Full Throttle Cup Series, Asphalt Assault coming at us in February. So are you taking notes? Crew chief talking to you, learning anything about the Rock here tonight?
Yeah, the track. Just learning a lot about the track surface, where all the bumps are, and the line you need to run. But comparing the B car to the A car, and they're just so much different beasts that it's hard to take notes, and for them to translate, you can't really do that so much.
Got you there, and I'll tell you what, another congratulations to Chad Cole picking up the trophy tonight. 18 points out in front of John Abbott coming into the race here tonight. Who made it happen for you, Chad?
A lot of people made it happen tonight. Got to thank my team, Manshot Racing teammate there. Always fun racing with Dave. He had a good run, great run actually. Started dead last, near dead last, and worked his way up to second for a 1-2 for us, which is awesome. And Greg Netherwood, need to thank him for subbing for me a couple weeks ago as well. Came home with a solid finish for me. And hippiespaintshop.com as well for painting this awesome ride I had tonight.
All right, Chad Cole putting another trophy on the shelf from the Rock, Rockingham Speedway. Take it on down pit road just a little bit here. I believe Wesley Atlan standing by with the driver of that number 33 machine, David Lanza.
Yeah, no doubt about it, J.D. Webb. If you remember the 1997 running of the NASCAR All-Star Race to Winston, you remember those famed colors, the Wheaties, number 3, not the 33, that David Lanza drove. But first off, I got to say, David, was that in respects to Dale Earnhardt, one of the greatest drivers ever?
Oh, yeah, this is a tribute car to him. He's the master. He's the man.
No doubt about it. I was actually at that race to Winston when I saw that colors of the orange Wheaties number 3. It was actually the only driver ever in the history of motorsports to go on a Wheaties box, and that was, of course, Dale Earnhardt. But David Lanza, let's talk about your show, man. What a wild race it was at Rockingham. Typical race at Rockingham?
Yeah, I would say so. It's all about tire management here. If you're rough on it in the beginning, you're going to be pretty much toast the rest of the run. Or even if you get a little loose, which I did there on that long run there. I thought I was going to. I didn't think it would hold up, but she cooled down, and I was starting to pull away from third place. I didn't have nothing for my teammate Chad. He was just in a different time zone, just hauling the mail there. But I'm just ecstatic with the second place finish. I mean, I started 29th, and I just methodically made my way up to the front.
Yeah, you didn't qualify.
No, I tried, but turns 2 and turns 3 didn't want to agree with me.
Well, I'll tell you what, obviously you don't want to end the race the way we did with that big wreck at the start-finish line, but that comes with the business sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. On that last pit stop, I thought I'd be kind of sly and not take a full tank of fuel, and all it did was tighten me up after about the second or third lap on that restart, and I couldn't do nothing. I didn't have nothing for Chad anyways. Like I said, he was awesome tonight.
Thank out your sponsors, buddy, before we let you go.
Thank you very much. I want to thank real quick here. Let me thank Real Sim Racing for putting this on, and you guys there at ETV. You guys do a phenomenal job, and also my teammate Chad at Manchild Racing, the best teammate in the world.
No doubt about it. He'll finish in the second spot driving the cars of the most greatest driver ever in the history of auto racing. I just didn't say NASCAR. I said auto racing. The great late Dale Earnhardt driving the Wheaties number 33 Chevrolet to second place here at the Rockingham ETV Live Rock 150. That is the number 33 of David Lanza. And this will give us a chance. Also plug iLeagueRace.com, a one-stop shop for iRacing leagues looking for total website and points management, custom scoring protocols, complete scheduling and management, and series of events, and much more. Even a blog set up to recap your race. iLeague Race also provides driver and team signups with integration of APIs such as scoring tickers, points updates, and much more. If you're an iRacing league junkie and you love racing like we do at ETV Live, you need iLeagueRace.com. That's www.iLeagueRace.com. And back, I had to throw that plug in there to let JD Webb catch his breath because he went from victory lane all the way down now to the third place finisher. To the number 10 we go, to Bobby Terrell, and back to JD Webb here on pit road.
I'll tell you what, Bobby Terrell at number 10 actually subbing for John Abbott tonight. John Abbott had his eyes glued to that big screen watching that so-called football game tonight. Bet he wishes he was in the drive. Yeah, I bet he wishes he was inside the cockpit of that number 10, but I tell you what, he did turn the wheel over to a very talented Bobby Terrell. So, Bobby, tell us about your race tonight, bud.
Well, it was a beating and banging Rockingham, I guess you would say. Got kind of knocked around a little bit, led some laps, fell back. I had about a minute and something damaged. I never got fixed, and I just hung on, drove my way back up to third after getting knocked around a little bit.
You know, let's talk about the short track nature here just a little bit. You know, the beating and banging, isn't that to be expected when you come to a place like the Rock?
Yeah, this track is it's different. For sure. I love driving it. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I had a blast tonight. That's all I can say. Is, you know, regardless of the outcome, I still had fun. So, and that's what it's all about. And I appreciate John letting me fill in for him because I had a blast.
I bet you probably had more fun than he did watching that football game. Who made it happen for you tonight, Bobby?
Well, of course, John Abbott, or I wouldn't be here.
All right, and I'll tell you what, I had somebody whisper in my ear there. Wesley, what did you want to say now?
No, I just wanted to say, JD, I wanted you to get the glory, not me, but I know that there was, Bobby, a lot of mixed feelings. Some drivers were kind of really talking some smack to one another, so to speak, after this race had ended. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, I went back and reviewed some of the replays to see if I was at fault in them, and like in turn 4, I hit a bump, and it just kind of bumped me around a little bit, and got, you know, made another guy spin, and then the guy in front of me got loose, and I mean, I had really nowhere to go. It's just part of the nature of it, you know. Driving here is the bumps and the coming out of 4 and managing your tires, which I done an excellent job doing that. I felt like I had a top 3 car all night, and like I said, had fun, and I'm didn't mean to hurt anybody's feelings at all. I got bumped around too.
Everybody got bumped, JD Webb, but that's the nature of the beast, buddy, like we said before we went to break.
Yeah, you bet. I'll tell you what, that's just the nature of short track racing, and that's just kind of racing a lot of love. Before we get out of here, guys, I want to thank all of our winners here tonight at the Rock and the opportunity to work with Wesley Allen, Dakota Ehrman on pit road here back in the booth again. This is a rarity for me. But, again, my horse downstairs in the corral back in the booth back there, he's just looking up here wondering what the heck I'm doing. He thought we were retired.
You still got it, JD.
I don't know about that. But, there's a whole lot more racing coming your way as we gear up for the 2013 season. Going to break loose in February. But tomorrow night, we open back up again with the iRacing Pro Series. Back in the saddle again at 8:30 live on ETV Live. And then on Wednesday night, this is the one that I've been waiting for a long time. Short track racing coming to ETV Live. And this is late model stuff by Maritime Racing and Maritime iRacing League. Wesley Outland and Mike Keaton being in the booth Wednesday night as the season premiere starts at Lanier. So for some late model short track racing.
And coincidence, Wednesday night I'll actually be in Georgia, probably 45 miles from Lanier Speedway.
Yeah, and then Thursday night, back with the Real Sim Racing Outlaw Truck TV series. And I'll tell you what, if you haven't seen racing, you want to miss this one. Thursday night, 9:30, right here live on ETV Live. And again, ETV Live, we're still kind of on hiatus here a little bit, using this winter break here to kind of spruce things up. I know John's been working hard on some new equipment, so we do apologize for any hiccups that you might have seen here tonight. But I'll tell you what, Cowboy, when we come back in February for the season openers for a huge season of racing on ETV Live, you really don't want to miss it. Check it out at etv-eplay.net. Look at that booking calendar up there, Cowboy. I'll tell you what, any night of the week, Cowboy, we got it racing going on here at ETV Live. So for everybody up here in the booth, Wesley Allen, Dakota Herman, now we've got to get a fast track plug in here too. And I'll tell you something, listening to the And the Winners Motorsports show here tonight with Wesley Allen, he's got another show premiering tomorrow night live at, I believe at 7 o'clock here on ETV Live. Fast Track Racing Series Weekly. And I tell you, if you're into short track racing, dirt, late model, you name it, you got to pay attention to this one. And Fast Track Live is all about the nation's first premier pro late model dirt series, Wesley, hosted by the voice of Fast Track Racing Series, the mouth of the South, Wesley Outland himself.
And
I'll tell you what, and he on ETV Live, and I swear we will get it on the ETV Live radio as well. So again, for everybody up here in the booth, John Wessling pushing the buttons on the camera for you tonight. Good night. We'll see you tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. right here, ETV Live. We'll see you then.
Ciao, ciao.
Disconnected. Disconnected. Channel switched.
I just put a link in there. You see it, link?
Uh,
All right. And see this link?
I can't hear you.
You hear me?
Say it again.
You got those links?
Disconnected.